Jaron, hoe gaan dit?
Can you, Andre? Welcome.
Wat rustig, ja, dankie baie.
Good to have you with us again.
Altyd lekker hierso.
Absolutely.
Sê gou 'n bietjie vir my, julle het nou pens en potjies in die kontrakteerbedryf ingeklim, of in hierdie klas Jaguars, julle het 'n hele klomp van hulle wat hardloop daar buite. Vertel my gou, hoekom het julle nou daai besluit gemaak?
Andre, we started a couple of years ago. It was born out of a need to do our own contracting or our own work for our own farm. And then we started to expand out and doing some work for other farmers, and it grew from there. So now we're quite focused on the contracting. We operate all throughout the country, and yeah, we give it a go.
Julle is nou tot in die Kaap ook, né?
Yeah, the equipment is in the Cape already. Luckily for them, they're having some good late rains, or good rains in the season, so it's pushing the start date back a little bit. But in the next week or two, we'll start, and then we'll be in full swing there. So all the equipment is there in the Cape, waiting to get started, and we're hoping and looking forward to a good season for the guys there.
Ja, definitief. Dit is seker maar 'n bietjie hulle beurt ook, né?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Sê gou vir my, maar julle het nou spesifiek op die kuilvoerkerwers, julle het besluit op Klaas, en ek neem aan dit het daar ook baie van die ander equipment uitgerol. Hoekom het julle besluit op Klaas spesifiek?
I think in the forage game, the Jaguars certainly are a market leader. The technology, the level of equipment, and also what's very important is the backup that we get from them. So we went with Klaas, especially the Jaguars. They serve us well. We've got a big fleet of them. They're efficient, they diesel efficient, and they have a great quality of processing the kernels as well. Also our machines have the shredlage corn cracker in them, which is also a little bit of a cut above in terms of the technology offering.
Iemand het vir my gesê daarso, as jy net die shredlage vat, en ek weet nie hoeveel waarheid is daar nie, maar jy kan vir my sê op julle plaas en so, laat jy omtrent op melkkoeie kry hulle 10% meer melk uit net omdat die shredlage gebruik bo die ander goed.
Look, they do say that. That's obviously what the guys who develop shredlage will propagate. We use it. We're never going to say to someone that they're going to get a guaranteed increased yield, but what we found better is just the kernel processing, so the actual crushing of that maize pip within the cadaver. So that's why we went with it. Short cut, long cut, you can do either with shredlage. That's up to the farmer specification, but you know, actually processing the corn and getting that starch and energy extraction does a great job. So that's why we use them for sure.
En dan sê vir my spesifiek, is daar, want baie ouens redeneer, ja, maar daar's nie regtig 'n waarde in kuilvoer maak en al hierdie lekker nommers nie, dis kapitaal te intensief en whatever, jy kan maar net sowel droomelies gebruik in jou rantsoen, die hele lot. So what is the value? Wat is die waarde wat jy voel wat mens kry uit om regtig kuilvoer te maak?
Look, I think in any feeding business, be it in beef feeding or dairy feeding, silage plays a very big role within the diet and within the ration. It brings down your average feed cost and it brings down your diet cost. And I think it's quite difficult in this day and age to feed cattle of any nature without silage in your ration. And therefore, as a market, you know, people always need to, and farmers always need to make feed for their cattle. So it's a year in, year out type of requirement, and we enjoy it. You know, yes, it is capital intense, there's no question. It's possible or not to buy a cadaver, but what about the logistics in between that, the transport rig and all the rest? So it is capital intense, and you've got to be geared and you've got to love it because it's hard work. It's long seasons, intense, and you've got to be prepared for that.
Nee, maar dit is die ding. Ek meen dis regtig nie maklik om 'n kuilvoer operation aan die gang te hou nie. Ek meen hierdie goeders is nie goedkoop nie.
Sure.
Maar sê vir my want dit is altyd een ding. Ek wil net hoor hoe julle werk presies. As julle nou kom julle net met die kuilvoerkerwer en ek moet transport organise, of hoe loop julle, kom julle met 'n pakkie saam?
No, we pride ourselves on being turnkey silage contractors. So we bring everything. We bring the cadavers, we bring the transport, we do the bagging on the end of it.
Bagging?
So, sure. So we put it in
Wat van 'n, nee, maar daar's mos nou 'n kuilvoergat.
Well, we don't do that anymore. We've researched it now over the last 3 years, and the advantages of putting it in a silo bag are tremendous. It's really revolutionizing the way silage is produced, and we are strong proponents of that, and that's how we do it. So from a turnkey point of view, the farmer, the client actually doesn't have to do much. There's no more tracking big sheets and tires and all the rest of it. We start the job, we finish the job. All they have to do is provide us with diesel and inoculant if they want to. We do the rest. Many of our clients go hunting, go fishing when we're doing the work on their farms. They're not even there, and it's really changed the game. And it's the quality of product that's coming out. It's chalk and cheese. Really is chalk and cheese.
En hoe lank kan ek so ding in daai sak hou?
Oh, we've got bags here on this farm that have been holding product in for over 2.5 years already, in the bags, no problems. They say a good couple of years. We're trialing it under South African conditions. In Europe, good couple of years, 4 or 5 years, they're keeping them in the bags.
Maar sê vir my uit die boere se oogpunt uit aan die bedryf, wat ondervind jy is die grootste challenge vir hulle om kuilvoer te maak?
The biggest challenge is always the conditions and the season, you know. Making silage, it's all about the correct dry matter of the product, of the crop that you're cutting. And then typically in season, you'll have a rain, you'll have some mud, it's hard to get in. So it's timing, but silage is all about timing. You've got to cut the crop at the correct timing and then preserve it as quickly as possible. And that's where bigger, more efficient machinery really comes into it. With respect to the industry and many farmers, I think the days of cutting with a one-row silage cutter when you've got big hectares to cut, you start today and you finish a couple of weeks later, those days are gone because your consistency in feed will change. You've got to get in, do it quickly, do it effectively, efficiently and get out, and that's the name of the game.
En dan weet jy wat jy rantsoen waarmee jy werk. Jy kan
Absolutely, and you're consistent, sure, absolutely.
Definitief. Sharon, baie dankie.
Thanks, Andre.